Hello, good morning to you all, children. Yesterday I have done the second part of the lesson. First, I told you about the situations in India, and then I moved to Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Then we learnt about the movements started by Gandhiji, or we entered into Gandhian era, wherein we learnt about non-cooperation movement started by Gandhiji. Why did he start? Due to Jallianwala Bagh massacre, the brutal activity of the British hurt the feelings of the Indians. Okay, they just attacked the people without giving any intimation, without any information. At least they would have given the warning, please stop your meeting, otherwise we will fire on you. Then people would have taken some decision whether to conduct the meeting at Jallianwala Bagh or just quietly move away to their houses. This was not done. Suddenly they came and attacked. Thousands of people died, injured, and this was very, very, very brutal. Brutal means like animals. They behaved with the Indians. This was really not liked by any of the Indians. So, to protest this, Gandhiji started the different types of movements. He thought fighting is not a means to achieve the goal. So he thought we would fight them silently. It would help us. So in this way he started the movements, and first to protest against against the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, or the brutal, cruel activities or treatment of the British towards the Indians, he started non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation means not to cooperate with British in their activities. Understand? Not to be ready with them or help them in their rule for India. So under this, what happened? They started revolting against the British. Many Indian students and students came out of the colleges and schools. They left the schools and colleges run by the British and joined this freedom movement, the non-cooperation movement. And according to this non-cooperation movement, what was Gandhiji's main aim? Not to fight, just go through peaceful ways without harming anybody. But people were very, very angry with the British, and in Chauri Chaura in Uttar Pradesh, some people put fire or set fire to the police station, and they killed nearly 20 to 21 policemen. This was not liked by Gandhiji because it was against his principle of non-cooperation movement. So he withdrew the non-cooperation movement. Means what did he do? He took away, cancelled the non-cooperation movement. Then day by day, Indians were becoming serious regarding the freedom movement. So to study the situations in India, the British government sent a commission called Simon Commission. Means Sir John Simon was the head of this commission. Under his captainship, I can call, or under his chairmanship, few delegates or few members came to India to study the situations of the Indians. But this was also not liked by the Indians. The reason was that there were no any Indians in their commission, in their organization. So they are coming freshly from England. How could they know about the situations in India or the problems of the Indians? Unless there would be some or the other, one or two at least Indians would be there in their, commission. Without having Indians, they used to do the laws according to their own choice, without thinking about the situations of the Indians. Whatever comes to their mind, they would do. As it is happening now, our CM took the decision of opening the schools. Still, all the children were not vaccinated. Even then, it is going on, means really parents feel afraid of sending their children to school. Whether it is completely gone, eradicated or not, Corona, we don't know. Same way, without knowing the situation, understand, without knowing the results, what would happen if we do put forth or implement this law and order in the society of India. They just came to study the law and order system in the Indian society. So, without having any Indian member in the commission, this was not done. This was felt by the Indian leaders. So, they started protesting the Simon Commission. How, wherever the Simon Commission went to study the matters, they welcomed them with black flag. Black flag is the symbol of opposition. And they had a slogan, Simon go back, Simon go back. Understand? So, this was not a successful commission. Then there were revolutionaries who never hesitated to take any strong action to reach the goals, to be successful in the freedom movement. Among the men were Bhagat Singh, B.K. Dutt, Chandrasekhar Azad, Rajguru, Sukhdev, etc. So, Rajguru, Sukhdev, B.K. Dutt and Bhagat Singh, they openly, what did they do? Exploded the bomb on Central Assembly of Parliament, where people were sitting for discussions. Okay, then they did not even move away, escape from there. So they were arrested by the British government and put them in the jail, who Sukhdev, Rajguru and Bhagat Singh. And they were tortured like anything. Understand? No proper food, no water at all. Understand? And they were sentenced to death. While dying also, they were happily giving away the slogans of Jai, Inqilab Zindabad, Vande Mataram. They did not think of their family, but they just thought of the motherland, India. So then, so many new leaders also joined Gandhiji in his process of freedom movement. They were Motilal Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Azad, understand, C. Rajgopalachari, Chittaranjan Das, etc. Understand? And in 1928, Vallabhbhai Patel led the farmers' movement in Bardoli in Gujarat, where as the Indian freedom movement was becoming stronger and stronger, the British government is becoming more cruel and cruel. They were not thinking of the lives of the Indians, they were just attacking them, putting them in jails and hitting them with lathi, which is called lathi charge. So, in Bardoli Satyagraha, why it was started? Farmers were forced to grow cash crops, that you know very well. And those raw materials were taken away to their own country, England, by the British. Second thing was they were levied with heavy taxes. Whatever food crops they grow or any crops they grow, major quantity of the crop should be given to the British as Lagan, tax. Lagan means tax. You have seen Amir Khan's picture Lagan. It is all about this Satyagraha. Understand? This was not liked by the Indians. So, to protest this type of system, Sardar Vallabhbhai and all the farmers of Bardoli started a Satyagraha movement which is called Bardoli Satyagraha, where the British, just like Jallianwala Bagh massacre, they attacked them and did lathi charge. In that, Lala Lajpat Rai, Vallabhbhai Patel was very badly hurt and he died because of this. Then, resolution of complete independence or Purna Swaraj. Understand? Resolution means decision. Resolution of Purna Swaraj means decision taken in the Congress session regarding attaining freedom, complete freedom. Purna Swaraj means complete freedom. When this was decided on 26th January 1929, I think. In 1929. Understand? In December 1929. So, as usual, every year in month of December, Congress session used to hold in any of the centers. First session was held in Bombay. Likewise, in many places they started having the meetings. So, in the beginning there were just 27 members, but slowly what happened? So many members joined. So many people joined the freedom struggle. So they had a session, Congress session in Lahore, which is now in Pakistan. There they decided to fight for Purna Swaraj or complete freedom. Complete freedom. Everything should be in the hands of the Indians. Nothing, no right should be had by the British. So this is called Purna Swaraj. At the Lahore session in December 1929, the Congress decided that it would not rest until it would attain Purna Swaraj or complete independence. The resolution was passed by an overwhelming majority of the delegates. Gandhiji led the civil disobedience movement against the British in 1930. Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement by breaking the unjust salt law. He walked up to the sea coast at Dandi near Surat and broke the law by making and collecting salt. Thousands of men and women all over the country took active part in this movement. This journey of Gandhiji was called Dandi March. So, in the Congress session in 1929, the Congress members decided not to take rest until they get to Purna Swaraj. So, it was approved by all the members wholeheartedly, overwhelmingly, happily. Understand? During this moment, in the year 1930, these years are very important. Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement. Disobedience means not obeying the British government. Civil means citizens, society of India. Not to obey any rules, not to follow any rules implemented by the British. You know, Gandhiji started this civil obedience movement by breaking salt law made by the British. You know, in 4th class you had the lesson Marching to Freedom in English. That is all about this salt march or salt satyagraha. Also, it is very popularly known as Dandi March. Understand? You know about it, but even then I will explain you what is this Dandi March. So Gandhiji started this civil disobedience movement, means not to obey the British laws, by breaking salt law. What did he do? Why? Because salt is the major basic ingredient we need for our food, whether you are rich or poor, or the richest or the middle class. Everybody needs salt every day, and it is easily and freely available in the nature. We can evaporate seawater and make salt. But the British levied a lot of tax to purchase salt. Understand, it is a common need of all the people. So this should not be done. So along with many people, he marched to Dandi. Dandi is a sea coast near Surat in Gujarat. Dandi is a sea coast, seashore near Surat in Gujarat. So many Indian men, women all joined him. Even Sarojini Naidu, the great poetess of our country, who is known as the Nightingale of India, she also joined during this salt law. What did he do? He reached on foot by walk to Dandi right from his Sabarmati ashram. From there he reached Dandi, a seashore in Gujarat near Surat. There he made salt by breaking the salt law of the British. He made the salt and collected the salt. This is called Dandi March. In 1929 in 1930, as a part of civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji started Dandi March, wherein thousands of people joined him. Understand, in this way, Gandhiji was successful whatever he did peacefully for attaining freedom for India. Soon the movement spread to other fields. Understand, now it is for salt. Other fields also like education, production of crops, everywhere, all group of people came into this movement stream. Soon the movement spread to other fields. Government officials resigned from their jobs. For the first time, a large number of women came out of their homes to join the movement. They tried to break even unjust laws, every unjust laws. The British tried their best to crush the movement. Many people were killed and the jails were overflowed with satyagrahis. So, very soon Gandhiji and his movements became very famous. Not only the such laws, in every field people started cooperating Gandhiji, breaking the rules of the British government. Many employees who were employed in the government offices or even in the army, British army, they all resigned, left their jobs and joined the freedom movement, Gandhiji's Satyagraha movement. And so many women also came out of their house and joined Gandhiji. They gave out everything for the sake of motherland, their jewelry, everything. They did not bother about their house, family, children and all. They all joined Gandhiji. Many women also joined Gandhiji in this Satyagraha. So it became very difficult for the British to crush this movement. Crush ante నరకేయడం కాదు, అది స్టాప్ చేయడం వాళ్ళ వల్ల కానే లేదు, వాళ్ళ చేత కాలేదు. Understand? So that British became still cruel. Understand? They tried their best to crush, cancel these movements, but people did not listen. They were very high, in a very high, activities they were doing very seriously to get the freedom. So at last what did they do? They put many Indians, they just arrested these leaders and put in the jails. And many even died also. Even jail prisons were also overflowed by the people. There was no place. As it happened during Corona, there was no place in the hospitals, no beds in the hospitals. Near hospitals, they made a tent and there they had the patients. Such a really very bad position we have faced. Same way, here also, British arrested every Indian and put in the jail. In this way, what happened? Jails were overflowed by the satyagrahis, these members who participated in satyagraha. In the northwest, the movement was led by Abdul Ghaffar Khan, who was popularly known as Frontier Gandhi in the northeast, by Rani Gaidinlu of Nagaland, and in the south by Sri Rajgopalachari. So, not only that, many people took active part and responsibility of leading the non-cooperation movement or this civil disobedience movement. In the northwest means at the side of Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana, the person called Abdul Ghaffar Khan led the movement, and he is popularly known as Frontier Gandhi also. In the northeast, this movement was led by Rani Gaidinlu of Nagaland. In north part of India, Seven Sisters area, Nagaland, all those areas, who led a queen called Gaidinlu. And in the south, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Sri Rajgopalachari also led the civil disobedience movement. The British faced a countrywide agitation. People started using only Indian goods. This posed a serious problem for the British goods and their factories in England. In 1935, the British government made some reforms. Now people could elect their representatives for the government. Congress, though unsatisfied, took part in the elections and formed the government in many provinces. Congress ministers did good work in the provinces. So, in this way, day by day, this freedom movement became very strong. Different places, different leaders led the movements, and people from all over the country joined this freedom movement. Now it became very difficult for the British to control the Indians. So they have posed, see what happened, the people very serious about the Britishers now. They stopped buying British goods. They brought only Swadeshi goods, the things made in their own country by their own people. And they even in heaps, in big కుప్పలో బ్రిటిష్ వాళ్ళ దగ్గర తీసుకున్న వస్తువులన్నీ రోడ్ల మీద వేసి కాల్ చేశారనమాట. ఇలా దెర్ వాజ్ నో మార్కెట్ ఫర్ బ్రిటిష్ గుడ్స్ ఇన్ ఇండియా, అండ్ factories they were producing goods in England, but there was no market in India. They faced lot of problem. In 1935, to make eye washing, children, in 1935, just for an eye washing, British people asked the Indians to participate in the elections and elect their own leaders to form the government. This, though Indian leaders were unhappy with the British, Congress leaders, they were unhappy with the British. Even then, this was a good chance, they thought, and they conducted elections in so many parts of the country and elected their own government or members to rule those particular provinces, states. That time what happened? In 1939, World War II broke out. Second World War broke out, started. Understand, this was very horrible. Many Western countries became enemies to each other. They were divided into two super blocks. America, along with Germany and some other countries, is one black block, and England, other European countries, Russia, Japan, they were also in another block. They both had super weapons, scientific weapons with them. So what happened? They both fought with each other. Understand, in that way there was great loss of humans, wealth, everything. This led to a very bad position in the world as we now facing because of corona. Understand, no jobs for the people. The people died. Many people lost their parents, sons, etc. So this time what happened? They even asked the Indians to join them in the World War. They wanted the Indian soldiers also to join them to fight the other people, Western countries. But the Indians now, they were not ready. They understood in First World War, which was held in 1914, then they understood these people were just users, and afterwards they will not keep up their promise. So in 1942, in 1942, Gandhiji started his last movement called Quit India movement. Quit India movement in 1942. Now people were very angry with the British. They were uncontrollable by the British. Now they understood they are just doing eyewashing, electing, holding elections and all. It's of no use. So they wanted the Britishers strictly to leave their country. So they started quit. Quit means leave India. Who had to leave India? British. Chale jao chadvali ani Hindilo antaru దీన్ని. Understand? Gandhiji started this, and he asked the people to join this movement in a large number, and he gave out the slogan called do or die. Karo ya maro. Understand? It means you people must work to attain freedom for the country or die in this process only. So people were very serious about it. So many revolutionaries also took part in the struggle. The name of Bhagat Singh, Ram Prasad Bismil, Rajguru Sukhdev, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sita Ramaraju, Ashfaqullah are well known. Many revolutionaries, they also came forward and they joined this freedom movement, and they did not take any path of non-violence. They harshly fought with the British and boldly they faced the British. But the British killed them. The British immediately arrested Gandhiji and many other leaders. So in this moment now people are uncontrollable. We must do something, they thought. Gandhiji is the main leading role now in this Indian freedom movement. So if we arrest Gandhiji, other people will keep quiet, they thought. And they arrested Gandhiji and many other leaders. And at that time, Indian National Army, INA, was formed by Subhash Chandra Bose. Indian National Army. He escaped from India because they wanted him to arrest him. So he escaped, and he, what did he do? With the help of Germany, Afghanistan and all, he brought together the prisoners of Indian prisoners were kept in the jails in these countries, Singapore, Germany, Afghanistan, etc. And he formed with them the Indian National Army. And he gave out the slogan, Jai Hind. We just, now also we use this slogan every time, every day in the school, okay? So Jai Hind, he gave out this slogan. And then what happened? He even gave out the slogan Delhi Chalo. Delhi is the central government where British government was there. Let us go and fight them. Understand? He waged the war for the freedom from outside the country, because if he comes to India, they would kill or arrest him. But anyways, people say that he died in plane crash. God knows what happened. It was a mystery. Then birth of two nations. This was going on seriously, but as the effect of divide and rule policy, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, one of the Congress leaders, he wanted a separate country for the Muslims. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he wanted a separate country for the Muslims. This is new problem in front of the Indian leaders. He said, we want separate country for the Muslims. Then only we will support you in the freedom movement. So invariably, Gandhiji promised him that he would give him separate country. Understand? In this way, it was not liked by many Indian leaders. Even then, what happened? At last, when the British came to know that now it is high time, Indians do not listen to us. And that is how, because of the British policy of divide and rule, India was divided into two countries called India and Pakistan. Understand? It was happened after the British got ready to leave India on 14th August 1947. Understand? It was the birth of Pakistan that time, I can say. A small country in the western part of India, which was not at all a separate country. It was the part of India. As Muhammad Ali Jinnah put a condition in front of Gandhiji, if he gives a separate country for the Muslims, then only they would support them in the freedom movement. That's how, without helplessly, I can say, Gandhiji agreed, and he partitioned India, means broke India into two parts called India and Pakistan. Understand? Even then you can find many Muslims in India. India is very tolerant, secular state. It gives freedom to all the Indians to follow any religion. That's why we don't have any grudge or enmity with the British. That's how we got independence on 15th August at midnight in 1947. This was the first Independence Day we ever celebrated. At 12 o'clock, our country unfurled the British flag from the Red Fort and hoisted the Indian tricolor. You know how it is. And that day was the great day for all the Indians. They celebrated it like a festival. Understand? And in 1945, even the World War II also came to an end. Quit India movement was a successful thing. The British agreed to give freedom to India, and that's how India became free on 15th August 1947. Understand? This is the end of the British Raj, British rule in India. And in 1947, the British divided the country in two parts. While going also they made a bad thing, dividing India into Pakistan and India. Okay. India got its own prime minister, its own president. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became the first prime minister of our country, and he hoisted the flag on Red Fort. He became the first PM of our country, prime minister. Then Dr. Rajendra Prasad became first president of India. This was a great day, unforgettable day for all the Indians. From then onwards, we are going to get our own prime ministers, own presidents, etc. That is how India became free from the British, and it started its ruling by itself. This is how, with great struggle, India got independence for its country. This is the end of the unit wherein we learnt about 15th, 16th and 17th lesson. First, freedom struggle. No, not freedom struggle. First lesson was the struggle towards freedom, then second, freedom struggle, third, independent India. That is how, with the sacrifices of loss of lives of many Indians, we got freedom. We became independent India. Okay, let us stop here tomorrow and start the notes. I don't give it on the blackboard, I will give it in the notes. Please copy and learn. That's it, children. Thank you.